cord?
In the column. Foramen.
Yes,
Canalis.
spiralis, yes, and begin at the level of foramen magnum, you say right, and ending at the level of second lumbar vertebra. So we can see the spinal cord more short than vertebral column because ending at the level of the
Second lumbar.
lumbar vertebra, and on the way it's have a two thickness. This is cervical thickness and lumbar thickness. In Latin, enlargement, thickness, or second word, enlargement. Intermittentia in Latin, intermittentia cervicalis and intermittentia lumbosacralis. Thicknessing correspond to the roots of limb nerves. If we say about cervical enlargement, this is upper extremity. If we say about lumbar sacralis, this is a lower extremity. And if we say about structure of spinal cord, in the lower part, we can see the cone shape. Just ending. Yes, this is conus medullaris, and we can see one line. This is filum terminale. Filum in English. This is terminal treats the parts. Filum nit. Filum. Yes. Filum terminalis. So this is conus medullaris. This is fila terminalis. So if we say about the how called the unit structure, anatomical and structural unit of nervous system, how called?
Neuron?
Neuron. What you know about neuron? What you know?
It has axon, dendrite, cell body, and axon.
Yes.
Myelinated, non-myelinated.
About neuron.
Swan cell.
Так, guys, this is neuron.
Unipolar, bipolar,
Yes. Have some types. Unipolar. Have only one accent. Bipolar. Then pseudo-unipolar, and multipolar. And each neuron have one dendrite, short process, and one axon. This is long. If we say about dendrite go to the body of neuron, and then axon passes to another neuron. So short dendrite and long axon. And for function, we have sensitive neurons, motor neurons, and intermediate.
Intermediate neurons.
Yes. Intermediate. I know interneuron.
Yes, interneurons.
Sensitive, interneuron, and then motor neuron. If we look to the spine, can you please put this picture? If we look at the spinal cord, if we're making a section of spinal cord, we can see them two matters. Peripherically white matter and butterfly shape inside gray matter. White matter, alba in Latin, alba, and gray matter, grisea, gray matter and white matter. And if we say about external structure, I forgot to say, in front have a gap, deep gap, fissura, mediana, anterior, and behind have a groove, sulcus medianus posterior. This is fissura mediana anterior and sulcus medianus posterior. And these two grooves dividing spinal cord to two similar halves, 1 and 2.
Okay.
And these halves also dividing two groove, sulcus posterolaterales and sulcus on this side, anterolaterales, sulcus posterolaterales and sulcus anterolaterales. And these groups dividing the white matter to two funiculus. This is funiculus anterior, funiculus media, and funiculus posterior, media, and anterior. Yes, funiculus anterior located between sulcus medianus posterior and sulcus posterolaterales. then media located between sulcus posterolaterales and sulcus anterolaterales, and funiculus anterior between between sulcus anterolaterales and fissura mediana anterior. So white matter dividing prefuniculus, funiculus anterior, median, and
Posterior.
Yes, posterior, median, and anterior. And if we say about the spatial area, if we're making a section, spatial area, we can see the segment. Segment. And one segment correspond to paired nerves. If we say about segment, this is a specific area, segment of spinal cord, and there are 31 paired segments in total, 8 cervical, 12 thoracic, 5 lumbar, 5 sacral, and 1 coccygeal. And these segments not corresponds like the vertebrae, because how many cervical vertebrae? Seven. But if we say about spinal cord, we have 8 spinal segments. 8 spinal segments. And these segments not correspond to the way of columna vertebralis, because we say spinal cord is more short. Spinal cord is more short, ending at the level of second lumbar vertebra. If we say about sulcus anterolaterales, sulcus posterolaterales, we can see 2 radix, radix anterior, radix anterior, and radix posterior. Radix anterior and radix posterior. If we say about radix posterior, it's enter spinal cord. If we say about radix anterior, it's exit from spinal cord. And then when they going to radix posterior, they communicate and making a trunk, truncus nervi spinalis, and this trunk exit in intervertebral foramen intervertebrale. I remember foramen intervertebralis.
Yes.
Between
the
foramen
vertebrae.
intervertebralis. So on this picture we can see radix anterior, radix posterior, they confluence and making trunk. Truncus nervi radialis. How many? 31 paired. 31 paired. So, and then this trunk exit from foramen intervertebrale. Foramen intervertebrale. So, how we say spinal cord not correspond to the columna vertebralis. So, if we say about cervical segments, they exit parallel. Yes, first cervical exit from first intervertebral, second, so they correspond. Cervical, yes. If we say about thoracic, they have more oblique direction, because not exit in same, they exit more lower to full all surface of columna vertebralis. If we say about lumbar, more oblique, and if we say about coccygeal, sacral, they stretch down more straight,
inwards.
more straight. So cervical going transverse,
Oblique.
thoracic more down, oblique, and lumbar oblique too. And if we say about sacral, they stretch down. They stretch down. And one coccygeal. This is one coccygeal. Yes, going down also to one coccygeal. So yes, spinal cord is more short, but these nerves passes down and feel. And if we say about sacral nerves, they exit. I remember in sacrum we have sacral 8
sacral foramen.
So these nerves exit from this sacral foramen. So then if we, about external structure, understand?
Yes.
External structure, understand. Then if we say about, can you please yes? If we say about internal structure, guys, internal structure. The gray matter, this is gray matter, have shape like butterfly, yes, and have 3 horn. Cornu anterior cornu posterior and cornu lateral. But lateral corn located only on the level C8, L3. So upper cervical, lower lumbar and sacral not contain cornu laterale. Understand? So only in region C8, L3, it's have the lateral
cones.
But cornu posterior and cornu anterior all time have all area, all segments. Cornu posterior, cornu lateral, and cornu anterior. If we say about gray matter, the bodies of neurons grouped, making a nucleo and making a gray matter. If we say about white matter, this is accumulate of process of axons. Gray matter is bodies of neurons.
Cell bodies.
If we say about white, it's process of neurons, axons. If we say about anterior corn anterior, in anterior corn located the motor neurons, alpha motor neurons, and they grouped and making one central nucleus, anterior and posterior lateral, and anterior and posterior medial motor nuclei. So in anterior horn, it's rule all time located only motor nucleus, alpha motor nucleus, and they grouped and making a 5 nuclei. Yes. Medial and lateral, anterior, posterior, and one central. This is about anterior corn. Then, if we say about lateral corn, cornu laterale. No, in the middle it's writing from first thoracic, it's mistake, from C8. From C8 to the third lumbar expresses. Yes, from the first. No, you can say first thoracic, you can say cervical 8. Yes, it's not mistake. To the third lumbar segments. And contain two substantia intermedia lateralis, it's vegetative neurons for function, and substantia intermedia lateralis, this is intercalary, intermediate neurons. So we can say in lateral corn located vegetative nucleus and intermediate nucleus. Understand? Then if we say about posterior horn also contains intercalary neurons, intermediate neurons, and group from 3 nuclei. Substantia gelatinosa is located at the top. Substantia gelatinosa at the top of horn located. Then we have nucleus thoracicus and nucleus proprius located in the base of corn. Located. So about gray matter, this is all. In anterior corn, all time located the alpha motor neurons. If we say about lateral corn, located vegetative and intermediate, and in posterior only intermediate. Understand?
Yes.
This is about the gray matter. So if we talk about white matter, how we say it's dividing to 3 funiculus. Funiculus posterior, lateral, and anterior. And how we say white matter, this is accumulation of axons of neurons, And if we say about posterior funiculus posterior, in posterior funiculus located only the ascending tracts. If we say about tracts can be short. They connecting different segments of spinal cord, and they can be long, connecting spinal cord and brain. And tracts can be ascending, going up, and descending, going down. And now rule, all ascending tracts is sensitive, and all motor tracts, it's motor. Sensitive.
Or descending
motors. Ascending sensitive. This is a rule. Because then the last lesson about CNS, we collecting all knowledge about all parts of brains and making tracts. They can begin in spinal cord and ending in the cortex. So you should know characteristics of tract. Ascending, descending, motor, how many neurons contain. So ascending sensitive, descending motor. This is the rule. And in posterior funiculus posterior, located only two ascending sensitive path. Fasciculus gracilis and fasciculus cuneatus. More medial gracilis, and this is cuneatus. Fasciculus gracilis and fasciculus cuneatus. This is ascending sensitive tract. Ascending sensitive tract. If we say about function, conscience, proprioceptive sensitivity. Conscience, what mean? Voluntary.
Voluntary.
Yes.
Inner.
Conscience. I know word proprioceptive.
Receptive.
We have different sensitive. We have sensitive in the extra. We have the extra receptive sensitivity. It's skin, and you can feel the pain, the temperature, for example, of something. And proprioceptive sensitivity. These receptors located in the ligaments, in the muscles, in the capsules, in the joints. And proprioceptive sensitivity mean how you, for example, now you understand that you stay. This is understanding position your body in the environment. Proprioceptive sensitivity. It can be conscious and unconscious. And if we say about fasciculus gracilis and fasciculus cuneatus, this is conscious proprioceptive sensitivity. Because it's ascending tract, so this is sensitive tract. Conscious proprioceptive sensitivity. Understand? Fasciculus gracilis and fasciculus cuneatus. Now about these tracts, all lessons we discuss also. So, and on the last lesson of CNS, you should collect all knowledge and say me all tract from spinal cord to the cortex. From what parts of brain passes, how many neurons have. Now only study that in the fasciculus posterior, funiculus posterior, located fasciculus gracilis, fasciculus cuneatus, and function, conscience, proprioceptive sensitivity. So then these tracts passes up, go to the cortex, conscience, proprioceptive sensitivity. And about posterior funiculus, this is all. So in the funiculus posterior, located only fasciculus gracilis and fasciculus cuneatus, ascending tracts, conscience, proprioceptive sensitivity. Understand?
Yes.
Yes. If we say about lateral funiculus anterior, in this funiculus located both ascending and descending also too. Begin with the ascending. We have tractus spina cerebellaris anterior and tractus spina cerebellaris posterior. This tract begin in spinal cord and then go to the cerebellum. This is unconscious. Proprioceptive tract. Unconscious because signal going only to the cerebellum.
Okay.
Now I explain you the rule. If tract begin or ending in the cortex, this is the last part of brain. This is conscious tract. Voluntary, you understand? If we say if tract ending or begin in the another parts of brain, for example, in the pons, in the cerebellum, in the thalamus, medulla oblongata, this is unconscious tract. You can't control this involuntary tract. So tractus spina cerebellaris, this is unconscious because tract ending in cerebellum. Conscious, proprioceptive sensitivity. Unconscious. I say conscious. I confuse. I'm not sure. Unconscious. Unconscious, proprioceptive sensitivity. Understand? Tractus spina cerebellaris anterior, tractus spina cerebellaris posterior. Unconscious, proprioceptive sensitivity. Next, tractus spina tectalis, going to the tectum of midbrain. So this is unconscious too. Yes, unconscious tract too. And tractus spina thalamicus lateralis or tract of Edinger is the name. This is temperature and pain sensitivity. Temperature and pain unconscious. You feel and you not think. You feel and can understand. Temperature, pain. So this is temperature and pain sensitivity. Tractus spina thalamicus and tractus spina tectalis. pain and temperature sensitivity. This is ascending tracts also too. And next tracts is descending. Tractus corticospinalis, motor tracts, yes. Tractus corticospinalis lateralis. Tract begin in cortex, so conscious and conscience. Conscience. Tractus corticospinalis. This is conscience motor tract. I want, for example, go away, and I go. It's working the conscience motor tract. Begin in the cortex. Tractus corticospinalis, going down, descending tract. And if we say all descending tracts, it's motor, conscience, because begin in the cortex. If signal, for example, begin in cerebellum, yes, it's unconscious. Tractus corticospinalis lateralis, conscious. Descending motor conscious tract. Understand?
Yes.
Next tract, tractus rubra spinalis. Tractus rubra spinalis. The nucleus rubra located in the midbrain. Then next class we discuss all parts in the midbrain, and then going to the cortex. Conscious and conscious. Why?
Unconscious.
Unconscious. In midbrain. Begin in midbrain. In midbrain. So this is unconscious motor tract. Unconscious motor tract. And tractus alliva spinalis comes from the hindbrain. So this is motor tract, unconscious. Extra pyramid system. We have two system: pyramid, extra pyramid. Pyramid begin in cortex, extra pyramid lower. For example, in the midbrain, high brain, for example. So this is motor, extra pyramid system, unconscious tract, motor, because it's the descending tract. And about lateral funiculus, this is all. So the next class, you should know only what tracts located in all. For example, I ask you lateral funiculus, and you say what tracts and function.
Okay.
For this moment, you should know only this. And then when we discuss all parts of brain, we again revise this information, and at the ending of discussing CNS, you can collect all full tract. So if you missed one lesson and don't understand, unfortunately, then it can be problem. So CNS, yes, visit all lessons. Because if you miss or not understand something, unfortunately, you can't study then. And last, anterior funiculus anterior. It's also contain both the descending, yes, and ascending. If we say about descending, tractus corticospinalis anterior. This is conscious motor tract, pyramid system, because begin in the cortex, comes from forebrain. So this is conscious motor tract, pyramid system. Tractus corticospinalis anterior, lateral, in lateral funiculus located, anterior in anterior funiculus located. Then tractus tecta spinalis, begin in the tectum of midbrain, so conscious and unconscious. Function, part of the visual auditory reflex. Vision, auditory, don't, unconscious, yes, unconscious. Then tractus reticula spinalis and tractus vestibula spinalis. This is motor tracts to extra pyramid system, because they passes from hindbrain. Yes, so this is unconscious. Yes, tracts, motor tracts. And ascending tract, truncus pinna thalamicus anterior. This is path of conduction tactile sensitivity. Tactile sensitivity. And about tracts, only one tract have ascending tract, anterior funiculus. And about tracts, this is all. So for next lesson, you only study what tracts located in all funicle and function. Ascending or descending, motor or sensitive, pyramid, extra pyramid. All understand pyramid, extra pyramid? Pyramid.
From cortex and extra pyramid from other part.
Yes, lower part of midbrain, hindbrain, for example. For example, if in the cerebellum tract begin, this is extra pyramid, unconscious. If tract ending or beginning in the cortex, it's pyramid system, conscious, voluntary. You understand, you can control this. Then What else? And if we say about meninges, what meninges you know? Meninges, the membranes of
Cranial
spinal cord. Three.
Dura, dura meter, pia meter, arachnoid meter.
Yes, the more inner, this is pia meter, in Latin pia meter spinalis, pia meter spinalis. It's fused with the brain, fused, very closely, fused with the brain. Then going arachnoide meter spinalis, and between located a cavitas subarachnoidalis. Cavitas subarachnoidalis contain the fluid. Yes, the cerebrospinal fluid contain. Then, and if we say about what else? Have cisterna terminalis. I remember we have the in this place cisterna terminalis. Where located the conus medullaris. Yes, located cisterna terminalis. And next, the more outer dura meter spinalis, and between dura meter and arachnoide we have spatium, not between bone and dura meter we have spatium subdurale, contain also cerebrospinal fluid, and between the bone and dura meter we have cavum epidurale, not contain cerebrospinal fluid, contain only adipose tissue and venous plexus. Adipose tissue and venous plexus. Yes. And last for today, this is a reflex arch.
Yes.
What you know about
Reflex action, like someone hit then sudden type of movement.
We have a knee reflex.
Knee reflex.
This is easy reflex, knee. You don't understand, this is easy. So we have easy reflex and high reflex. Easy reflex, they from your birth. How say?
By birth.
Already present.
Yes. And more difficult you
Develop.
So if we say, I don't know structure reflex arch in school, you discuss?
Yes, discuss.
No, this is
Motor sensory, which effector muscle.
For example, we have receptor. Now I draw firstly, we have two neuron reflex arch and three neuron reflex arch. Firstly, I draw two neuron and then three neuron. If you say about two neuron reflex arch,
Motor and sensory.
Motor and sensitive. Motor and sensitive. Receptor. For example, skin. If we say, you remember we have radix posterior, yes? Radix posterior. And in radix posterior, located the ganglion, this is ganglion spinalis, this is. Yes, ganglion spinalis. Ganglion, this is peripheral nervous system. Peripheral, it's not located in spinal cord. Ganglion spinalis. And in this ganglion, located sensitive neuron, pseudo-unipolar neuron, looking like this. This is sensitive, pseudo-unipolar neuron. Dendrite of this neuron, more short, going to receptor. And axon go to the spinal cord, take part in radix posterior. Then passes in spinal cord, go to the motor neuron. How we say motor neuron located in the anterior horn. Yes, this is motor neuron. And then axon of this motor neuron, this is radix anterior. Passes in radix, take part in radix posterior, and then go to the organ. This is two neuron reflex arch. The signal from dendrite passes to the ganglion spinalis to the pseudo-unipolar. This is a rule. All sensitive neurons located in the radix posterior, in ganglion spinalis, pseudo-unipolar neuron. Axon of this neuron passes in radix posterior, then go to the anterior horn where located motor neuron. And axon of this motor neuron exits from radix anterior and passes to the organ. This is two neuron. Three neuron. One different, have the intermediate neuron. Yes, interneuron. And interneuron located in posterior horn. In cornu posterior. So
Okay.
signal passes from skin, for example, dendrite to the pseudounipolar neuron, then axon going to the interneuron, from axon of interneuron go to the motor neuron, axon of motor neuron from radix anterior go to the organ. This is only one different. Reflex arch.
Okay.
All understand, all know this information.
Yes,
Remember
yes.
some rules. All, this is a rule, all motor neuron all time located only in anterior horn. This is a rule. Second rule, all intermediate neuron located in the posterior
Posterior.
horn or sometimes in
Lateral
horn.
horn.
In lateral horn. And sensitive neuron, pseudo-unipolar neuron, all time located in the radix posterior in the ganglion spinalia. This is pseudo-unipolar neuron. Pseudo-unipolar. Questions about
No.
reflex arch? For today, this is all, yes. All.